Good morning, and thank you for watching Sunday Kickoff. I am Fidel Barraza, alongside with me, like always, Jerry Martinez, Kendall Whitley, and Walter Stringer. What's going on, guys?
There's football going on right now. 14-3
Yeah,
Tampa Bay over Seahawks, man.
We're
Yeah,
gonna find
Seahawks
out
it's
enough
offense
real.
about
hasn't
Yeah,
been able
it's
to
Seattle.
get
real
it
good.
going.
So you're gonna find out about Seattle today. And I was thinking to myself before this game, early this morning. If the Seahawks are real, I guess they should go out there and thump Tampa. And maybe they're not.
I think the thing that stood out to me is the past few weeks, a lot of people has made. I mean, Pete Carroll's been doing a lot of talking, taking shots at Russell Wilson. And you look at Seattle's schedule the last month or so, they beat the Cardinals twice. We know the Cardinals are a mess. They beat the Giants, where once Richie James turned the ball over twice on special teams, and then they beat the Chargers. The Chargers been a mess with injuries, and now they finally we get to see them down 14-0. We hadn't had a chance to see them down by this many points this year. So you kind of I don't know if this is a blueprint to beat Seattle or whatnot, but we see what Tampa's doing with him and Geno Smith. I mean, I don't want to ride out with him right now and just say he's not the guy. It's just one game, but it's a big difference when you're playing from ahead and from behind.
And one of the key differences in the games and the reason why Tampa's leading is because they've been able to get the running game going, and
Yeah.
that's one of the main things that they've been struggling with this season.
Oh man, Tariq Woolen, that guy is that's why you gotta do your due diligence when you're doing the draft process. Tariq Woolen was what, a fifth
Yeah.
round pick? He just intercepted on a trick play, which I don't know why the Bucks got funny, but that's exactly how the Seahawks get back into this game. But it just shows you what defenses are doing. They're keen, they're trying to stop the run and put the game on the shoulders of these quarterbacks. And when that happens, man, only a few quarterbacks can actually, make the adjustments or make the big plays to their key players on offense. And so right now, Geno's really going to be put to the test. Now, if I'm Seattle, I
Two
got
possession game.
well, they gotta stick to the running game. They gotta get Kenneth Walker going, man, because he's a special young man. So they gotta capitalize on this takeaway right here and get the running game going. Let take some of that pressure off of Geno and allow him to do that. But to kind of recap on what you said, man, the Falcons, man, they're really pretenders, man. They had me fooled. I really thought they were gonna be a dark horse team that could possibly get the South, win the NFC South, and look at them putting up a stinker on Thursday. So things are starting to get very clear now. I think after this week and next week, we'll know for sure which teams are going to be, headed or trending in the right direction towards the playoffs.
Yeah, and let's talk really briefly about this game on Thursday Night Football between the Falcons and the Panthers. Falcons lost the game 15-25. The Atlanta Falcons had their opportunities. Marcus Mariota was not able to make some plays at the end.
Yeah, that game was crazy, man, and whatnot. I mean, they just played a couple weeks ago, and that was the penalty game. DJ Moore, I thought the Panthers were gonna walk off and win it with the Hail Mary play, but I mean, the Falcons are just, I don't want to say look like a mess, but they didn't show up. They should have won that game. That's gonna be one of the games that's gonna come back and bite them in the butt later on in the year, as we near the stretch here. Because now Tampa's playing with house money now. Even if Tampa loses this game, they're still tied with the Falcons with no one spot and whatnot. So I think there was Atlanta blew a huge opportunity there Thursday night against a bad team in the Panthers. But credit to the Panthers though, because they haven't quit this year yet, and the Panthers they're still lurking too, so they still can get in
Yeah,
to win the division.
Steve Wilkes is putting up a good case to be retained, right? But I mean, I don't know, David Tepper, he looks like a guy I would not want to work for, man. I'm just being honest with you because when you saw Matt Rule come from the college ranks, it looked like he was going to be patient, allow him to construct the team, and he was doing it. He was constructing the team. Walt, you're big on building teams up. Didn't he take the right approach? I mean, the only thing was is that it wasn't their year to get a quarterback. It just wasn't their year. They won too many games to win or to be picking high enough to draft a quarterback.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna start with Atlanta first and get to Carolina second. But I think with Atlanta we see in them what's common in most young teams. any given Sunday, you could see them show up. They beat San Francisco, played well against San Francisco. They beat Cleveland, I believe.
Yeah.
Who else did they beat? Um, and they beat Carolina.
Yeah.
You know, those types of things happens. But I think if you look at Atlanta overall, they've got to do a better job of throwing the football. Like Arthur Smith, OC, Dave Ragone, they have to get better than what they are right now because what they are passing game wise is not good enough to get them where they need to go. Now, as far as Carolina, I think Carolina's in a different situation. You know, they hit the lottery, I think, on some really good players, draft pick wise on the defense over the past 3 years with Chin, and they had a few guys on the D line. You look at the secondary, they got about 4 first-round picks in that secondary, but they never got the quarterback situation settled. So now you're in a situation where you're looking at it's a brand new rebuild coming back in 2 years later, 2.5 years later after Rule. You have no quarterback. Now you could wind up with the number 1 pick. I don't think they're going to get the number 1 overall pick, though.
No.
But worst case scenario, you get second. You got a lot of guys on that defense, a lot of 24-year-old guys that you got to pay coming up soon. So you can't keep everybody either. So by the time you find a quarterback in a lot of these team situations, the defense, they can't keep that together. So I think Carolina is in a worse situation than Atlanta right now because Atlanta, you know, they don't really know what they have in Desmond Ridder. Personally, I would be playing Ridder right now. I don't understand why not, you know, but I get it. If you look at the Atlanta Falcons playing in the NFC South, you have a situation where your division is winnable. The other teams around you in that division aren't good. The rest of the teams in the NFC for maybe a good 3 teams, maybe tops, are really actually good teams. So when you get the opportunity with any season that you feel you have the win, you got to seize it. But if you're Atlanta, do you realistically have a serious chance to win?
I mean, I still think they're trying to figure out who's going to be on this roster next season.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they can't keep all those corners. Like, they got to trade somebody at some point in time.
You're talking about Atlanta?
No, I'm talking about Carolina exactly in that situation. Now,
Oh, yeah.
Atlanta's different. Atlanta's building slowly, I believe.
Yeah, Atlanta's team building is very awkward too. I mean, they're like,
They started on the outside. They did the
yeah.
opposite of
Well,
Seattle.
I was gonna say they're doing more special. Not special. What's the word? Uh, they're building it from the outside in instead of inside
Yeah.
out, right? Which is like, you know, they drafted Kyle Pitts, a tight end, and they went and got Drake London, a wide receiver, which is, you know, like, okay, what's your identity? You know, you would think that you would try to focus on, hey, let's beef up that offensive line, make sure it's really strong so I can get my running game going, because that's where Arthur Smith had his most success was with
Yeah.
Derrick Henry and that running game. So why not try to duplicate what you're doing? I mean, obviously they've been doing a good job with the resurgence of Cordell Patterson. And then of course these 2 running backs that they have in their stall. So I mean, yeah, okay, they don't probably need a running back, but I would definitely invest into offensive line to make sure it could get going in the right direction.
And how about Deontay Foreman, too? I mean, he had a really good game. Again, 31 carries for 130 yards and 1 touchdown.
Longhorn, right?
Laviska Shenault showed out too. Had a pretty good game.
Yeah, he scored a touchdown in this game as well. So we'll see where both these teams end up landing. I mean, look, this division is crazy. So we're not too sure how this is going to end up going.
For sure.
You're on mute. Well,
one more thing to piggyback off what Jerry was speaking about as far as the team building with Atlanta being awkward. This is a run first, run second, run third team, and they invested 2 top 10 picks in a pass catching tight end and a downfield wide receiver that they can't get the ball to. Like, Pitts is kind of like irrelevant within that offense right now, and it's a shame.
yeah, no, I 100% agree. All right, so we all know a certain wide receiver is almost medically clear to come back and play, and who I mean by that is Odell Beckham Jr. There's been a couple teams speculated to where OBJ wants to land, Kansas City, Dallas, Buffalo, and I think maybe a dark horse that not a lot of people are talking about are the Baltimore Ravens. Now, in your guys' opinion, where do you guys think Odell Beckham's going to land?
I think that he should go to the Baltimore Ravens. I think they need him. They have the dire need. I mean, but they just lost Bateman. Nobody's fearing Duvernay and Prochet and Demarcus Robinson and Deshaun Jackson, who can't catch a pass without injuring his hamstring. Nobody's fearing. Nobody's fearing that. I think Odell Beckham he'd be a great fit in Baltimore. I know they're run first offense, but I mean he's going to be getting single coverage a lot. And it opened up for Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely. I know the fan favorite and it wants to see wants to see him go to Dallas or whatnot. I mean, it's from a movie. Nobody cares about him going to Baltimore. Nobody else just going there. There's something about that star in Dallas. It's where a lot of people want him to go there. But I think Baltimore. I don't think Cowboys need him. I think Baltimore need him. I think it'd be a nice storyline if he goes to Dallas or maybe even San Francisco, another good fit. But I think Baltimore, in terms of need, the Ravens need them. Cowboys don't necessarily need them. You got your number one guy supposedly in CD Lamb, and if you get OBJ, you got two receivers that are coming back from an ACL tear. And Michael Gallup has not been lighting the world up yet. So I think, if I want to get my popcorn stuff, you can go to Dallas, just from a movie storyline. But in terms of need, X's and O's, it's the Baltimore Ravens.
Hey, I like how he did CD Lamb kind of on the low too though.
No, I like CD though. Jerry, no, I like CD. I do like Jerry. I'm a big fan of CD Lamb.
I am. I have not given up on CD Lamb. I mean, all of us know anybody, and look at me right now. I'm looking at everybody that's looking at me. Everybody in the NFL knows that Devontae Adams, that took him 3 freaking seasons to get it going, and he became the best wide receiver in the game. Oh, sorry about that. I'll back off. That's how I feel about CD Lamb, man. I watch a lot of Longhorn, a lot of Oklahoma games. You know, from what I saw at Oklahoma, the guy's an animal. He's a beast. He doesn't get hurt. He's a dog. He's the guy that'll get you the tough yards. You know, he'll go in the middle, come away with those tough catches, acrobatic catches, all the great stuff. But I will say this: I mean, me being a Cowboys, being a part of Cowboys Nation, I will say this. I mean, yeah, man, why not Odell Beckham Jr.? I know he's coming from a torn ACL, but you don't need to give him the full playbook and have him run everything you're doing. What you could do is literally see, okay, Odell, tell me what plays you can do, what routes can you run that you can do right now, and we'll implement that into our offense. And you know what? It's just gonna free up. It's gonna completely change the dynamic of that offense. Now the Cowboys' offense is gonna match that of what their defense is putting out week in and week out in the actual NFL. I'm done.
What do you think, Walt?
Well, I think the majority of the media, everyone else is saying Dallas right now. I'm gonna go with a different team. I'm gonna go with the Minnesota Vikings. I'm going with the Vikings for a few reasons. I think the Vikings need him also. Everyone who follows the Vikings, especially here in NFC North territory, understands that the Vikings offensively go the way Dalvin Cook goes. Now, Cook's been pretty solid. As long as Cook stays healthy, they're good. That's why I think the Vikings have been good this season. They got one loss. If we go back, oh yeah, the game. Now, if we
Sorry.
go back to week 2, if we go back to the week 2 loss to Philadelphia, what happened in that game? Like quickly, what do you guys think what happened in the Minnesota loss?
They
I
couldn't
mean,
do anything
like-
without Justin Jefferson.
Yes. Okay. So this
I
team
mean,
went out there.
KJ Osborne. I mean, I know nobody.
He's decent.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
decent or whatnot. Then they just got TJ Hawkinson. So I mean, he's
Yeah.
supposed to be there. So and they Jalen Rager don't get me at that. But they got Hawkinson and whatnot. Man, I think OBJ to Minnesota with playing alongside Justin Jefferson and Thielen. That'd be nice. I forgot. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, because I mean, going out, they went out. They knew they needed more firepower because Thielen's kind of on his way out. He can still give you some possession catches from time to time, but they need another viable threat. And if you pair OBJ with his boy from LSU, you look at Hawkinson at tight end, you look at the fact that they've been able to keep Dalvin Cook healthy. Now this is a team that can actually compete with Philadelphia because I think defensively they're not good enough on the defensive line to really handle Philadelphia's running game. So in that situation, You got to be able to outscore them. I think that's Minnesota's really only chance. I think Minnesota's good enough to beat everybody else in the NFC right now. If you're talking about Giants,
Well,
um,
I have to stop you right there. Well,
I mean, I know who you're gonna bring up. You got to bring them up.
I mean,
But let's be.
Jimmy Johnson came out
I
and
don't, man.
said
Listen,
right now
listen.
that the Dallas Cowboys is the
Listen.
best team in the NFC. He even said that the Eagles.
No, they're not. Listen,
Oh
I'm
my
gonna say
gosh.
this. I'm gonna
I
say
don't
this
know
right
what
now.
you've been
And
watching,
Jerry,
man. I know that you're trying to stick to your
Jerry.
week 1 prediction that they're going to the Super
no,
Bowl,
it's the truth.
but the
Jerry.
Eagles are posers, bro.
No, they're not.
They're
No, they're not, Jerry.
posers, man.
Jerry, let me ask you this: What happened?
They struggle
Jerry.
to score in the second half of games. It's statistically proven.
I hear what Jerry's saying, but
He wants to out-talk the facts, but he can't out-talk the facts.
I like what you said, Jerry. Walt, I agree with what you said too. But the Vikings are outlier team. I think it's between Baltimore and Baltimore needs him. I don't think the Cowboys need him. Yeah, we would love for him to go there. What is Jerry's word? We would love for him to go there. But I think if I'm OBJ, I'm gonna sit out. I'm gonna see how the Cowboys look today against Green Bay. We get into that game in a little bit. I'm gonna see how they look against the Vikings next week. I think they play Minnesota, and then I'm gonna wait till about the end of the month and choose. But I think Baltimore. I'm telling you, Baltimore the best fit.
I'm gonna chime in really quick. So the one thing that has been reported is that wherever he does end up, he wants to be there, and not just for this season, for the foreseeable future. So when you think about situations, let's just talk about Baltimore really quick. Lamar Jackson's going to be a free agent at the end of the season. We don't know if he's going to come back to Baltimore. So if I'm OBJ, that's the one thing that I'm thinking about. Well, is Lamar going to come back or not, right? The other thing is with Dallas, hey, they have a good team. They got a good defense. Does he want to be in Dallas, or does he want to go to Buffalo and play with his friend Von Miller?
His dad's side of the family is in Baltimore. I mean, in Dallas or whatnot. I've seen that he said that. But we hadn't even talked about the 49ers, though. I mean, I think it'll come.
Ken, I don't think they need him. Do you think they need him?
You can never have too many wide receivers. But I mean, I know I just said Cowboys. I don't want to go there because that's just too. That's too much, man.
Well, hold up. First of all, we're not gonna let Jerry homer his way out of this.
He already did.
He just sat up here and said that the Eagles were posers and that the Cowboys are better than the Eagles. You really believe that, Jerry?
Yes, I really do believe.
Okay, so let me ask you this, because
Cowboys are better than the Eagles. They're better than the Vikings.
Hold up.
Buccaneers.
You can't out-talk the facts. Now, if we go back 3 weeks ago, I told you. I told you.
Talk about.
I told you, Jerry.
Last season.
See, you're gonna out-talk the facts.
Okay, go ahead. 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks.
No. I said 3 weeks. I said 3 weeks ago. I told you the Eagles were going to bury the Cowboys because the Cowboys were not good enough offensively, and that would become their downfall. You cannot just. Unless you have some
the Cowboys with
you're still not explosive enough offensively.
Are you talking about Cooper Rush?
Even with Dak. Let's not get started on Dak.
Now Dak is starting.
Let's not get started on Dak, buddy.
Dak is starting to get his way back into the process. He didn't even get a preseason, and the first game he broke his freaking thumb. Now he's starting to get the feel back. His confidence back. I mean, it's just like anything. You need a week.
Where did that confidence take?
Jerry, real quick. If the Cowboys do sign OBJ, what does that say about how y'all feel about CeeDee Lamb?
I think that even CeeDee Lamb said it best. He goes, "When I came in here, we had two other number one wide receivers, so it's nothing new."
Couldn't get them the ball either.
I don't know what you're talking about. Well,
your QB isn't dynamic enough.
Statistically speaking, CD has put up some good numbers.
No, I'm talking about the QB.
The last couple of seasons.
The QB, he's not dynamic enough to even manufacture enough to get you guys the wins you need.
Man,
Jerry just said it himself when he came in. Look what he had. If we look at what Prescott has had since he's been in Dallas, not necessarily the past 2 seasons, but the offensive line, the triple of the wide receivers, the tight end in Witten. You look at the running game he had. I don't want to keep hearing about these guys that, he can do it if you make everything perfect around him. He's not a G like that. He's a good quarterback, but he's not a G. Like, I'm just saying, he's not a G.
I just need him the right passes at the right time.
But you need a G at some point in time.
I don't need no Jimmy G.
No. I said a G. He's not on field gangster. Why do you think Andy
Well,
Reid got rid of Alex Smith to get
if
Patrick
what
Mahomes?
OBJ said that he wants to be there for the rest of his career, he's tired of getting a 1-year deal.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick that. I will pick Dallas over Baltimore in terms of that. But in terms of X's and O's, I go to Baltimore. In terms of where I want to stay in the next 5 to 7 or the rest of my life, who want to stay in Baltimore? They would go. You go to Dallas.
I mean, I think the biggest thing on the whole situation is that he wants to find a home long term. So where does the best long term solution is? That's my question for you guys now.
But the Cowboys got CD Lamb locked. He's still in his rookie contract. Gallup, they just gave him a deal. So you're gonna be the third receiver and be there for the next 5. I mean, nobody said anything about that. So long term, I'd go with the Niners, man.
But Kendall, I'm talking about a solid team. I'm not just talking about a good offense. I'm talking about good defense, good offense.
Well, are the Cowboys, because they say he's looking at Mike Godwin, Mike Williams type deal. Is Jerry going to dish out that money to him? And you coming off the ACL, they're going to give him a 2-3-year deal? Nobody's said anything about it.
The casket is about to drop on my man. He's trying to win before he goes.
We can go on and on. I think the 49ers.
Look, I actually have a clip just so you just asked the question. I have a clip. I actually played this on the Dallas Cowboys cast that I'm working with Harvey. Shout out Harvey.
He can go anywhere he wants in terms of all 32, but we want to make our compelling case, and certainly at the end of the day, it's about business as well. So we'll just roll up our sleeves and see if there's an opportunity for us to put a star on Odell's helmet.
So
Steven, subject.
That's coming from Stephen Jones, the most frugal man in the entire NFL. I mean, you're talking about the cheapest skate when it comes to spending. He doesn't like signing people. That's that right there. I mean, as it is, he takes too long to re-sign his own players. But for him to say, we're rolling up our sleeves and we're going to go out there and try to put a star on his helmet. That just shows you that he understands that it's going to take a 3-year deal, maybe $20 million. Stephen Jones is actually a very smart guy. I mean, look, we lost 2 players in the offseason, the Cowboys, that is, right? We lost a few. We lost Connor Williams, we lost Laylon Collins, and then of course Randy Gregory, all because of contract situations. But now looking back, I think this Cowboys defense is just a tad better than what it was with Randy Gregory. I'm just being honest.
Well, Jerry, I got a quick question. How much did Amari Cooper want?
Amari Cooper was already getting about $22 million, I believe, annual salary. So what Stephen Jones did was, we need to start cleaning up the books. That's why this would probably be Zeke's last year. And I think that they understand that they're going to have to play Trayvon Diggs, and after that, CeeDee Lamb's going to come, and then of course Terrence Steele's going to come. So, and then of course the one that's looming around the corner is Micah Parsons' deal. So the Cowboys know exactly a lot of this money that's been, paid forward to, let's say, people like Zeke Elliott and the older players that we have. Those are already going to start to kind of like come off the books. So they're trying to clean the books now, so they can be ready to re-sign Trayvon Diggs, because this is his 3rd year. He's going to be in his 4th year. He's a 2nd-round pick, so they don't have a 5th-year option on him. And of course, CeeDee Lamb, they could exercise his 5th year, but you're talking about a man that's being very strategic with his re-signing and signing of players. And I just feel that right now, it's all. It started off with Mike McCarthy giving him a nice shout out, right? Talking very highly about Odell Beckham Jr. Then then it bled over to Jerry Jones talking about, oh man, how it would be nice to put a star in Odell's, Jerry's spiel. And then of course then it was Zeke, and then it was Dak, and then it was CeeDee Lamb, and it's all on board. Even Michael Gallup's all on board. Yeah, okay, you have Michael Gallup, you have CeeDee Lamb, you have. After that, who really do the Cowboys have after that? After Michael Gallup and CeeDee Lamb, let's be honest. Noah Brown, Jalen Tolbert.
You got an elite quarterback. He should be able to make it work with what he got.
But I'm just saying, if you add an Odell to it, it'll make things a lot easier, because now we can kind of deploy CeeDee Lamb into the slot, which is where he's actually done very well for himself.
One team
I'm not saying
nobody
he's
has
not an
talked about.
outside guy, but it's hard. It's hard, man, because you put him on the outside. Now he's getting double teamed because people already know, like, it's going to be hard to get the ball to Michael Gallup right now because Michael Gallup can't make the same cuts because he's coming back from an ACL tear. So,
One team nobody's talked about is the New York Giants. And Barkley did come out and say that he doesn't have to go to social media and tag OBJ stuff like that. That's an interesting fit because he was in New York and long term. I mean, I wouldn't mind staying in New York or whatnot. He got a lot of connections there.
My rebuttal right there would be, I mean, Daniel Jones. I mean, you just got to think about who's going to throw in the football. I mean, when you got
OBJ at this point, well, he did say he wants to win. The Giants are winning. He does have a ring. I mean, if it's all about money or whatnot, go back to New York.
Well, I mean, that kind of would circle everything.
I can see.
Around, right?
he had the ring though. He doesn't. He ain't like he's playing for another champion. He does have a Super Bowl.
Yeah, but once they win one, they want another one.
Yeah.
That's what Von Miller's chasing. So why not go with his friend and go chase it in Buffalo?
I think nobody talked about Ken. I don't think the Chiefs need him. I think
they don't need him.
Yeah, they got Buffalo. I don't think they need him either. It'd be a good story to go there, but I'm gonna say it's gonna be between Baltimore, Dallas, and San Francisco.
I wouldn't want to go to Baltimore. I don't really trust. You're telling me about Dak. I don't trust Lamar as a passer.
But we haven't even heard of Baltimore interest. I ain't heard that, but they do. They have.
That's why I said dark horse.
Yeah, they've been known to take chances on receivers and stuff like that. Just look at it. I mean, Steve Smith, Crabtree, Dez, Anquan Boat. I can go on and they've had a bunch of them.
All right, and I'm sure this won't be the last time that we'll talk about where he's going to end up landing. But he did say, or a report said, that he wants to pick a team by the end of the month. All right, so I mean, we're a little bit past midway point of the year. Who do you guys think is the best team in each conference?
I think I was really heated when I said the Cowboys, so I'm going to stick with the Cowboys in the NFC.
Jerry, you're becoming what you hate.
Is it both conferences?
Both conferences.
AFC, I'm going to go Chiefs.
I'm going to go Chiefs, but I'm telling you, man, Baltimore is knocking. Baltimore, I'm telling you, they get some guys back healthy. Baltimore will be something to reckon with down the stretch, and they schedule is it's not really that hard. In the NFC, I want to go with the Vikings, but I'm gonna go with the Eagles. I'm gonna go with the Eagles.
Yeah.
But Baltimore is a team. I'm telling you, it ain't no if they get in. When they get it, they gonna be a problem. I seen them play Monday night. I know it's the Saints. That Saints still got some star players on that team. Like, and they run the ball. Like, the thing about Baltimore, they're gonna run the ball, and you still can't stop them or whatnot. They can run it right down your throat. And they like a weapon on the outside away from surpassing the Chiefs. I don't think people are scared of the Bills as coming into the season. Everybody hyped them up a lot, and they're kind of falling. I mean, they're not falling back, but they kind of reverted back a little bit. But I think if Baltimore can add an Odell Beckham, or just, I'm telling you, they will be a problem.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it short and plain. My Super Bowl pick: Chiefs, Eagles. I'm pretty happy at the midway point. Both teams still look pretty solid. My issue with Baltimore, it still comes down to Lamar being able to pass his way, at least pass that team's way to a victory come playoff time. Late in the season when things change, weather changes. And I just feel that there's certain teams that's going to be Lamar's kryptonite. That's just how it's going to be. If he winds up in a game at Arrowhead in the playoffs and that team falls behind or the Chiefs jump out on them kind of heavy, I'm not sure if Lamar can still, really bring them back like that. It's only so much Mark Andrews you can do.
Right. Another team too is I don't think nobody's mentioned it yet, but I want to see how they play outside, like in a cold weather environment. Is the Miami Dolphins. I want to see what the Dolphins do. If they can go out and in January win in Buffalo, win in New England, win in some of these cold. I think the Dolphins.
We had to talk about this. I think. Man.
What you guys both said right now is
basically, fuck them.
That's what you guys basically said right now, right? About Baltimore.
I like Baltimore. I just think that I don't see any real difference in this Baltimore team than a lot of other Baltimore teams. Period. All right, onto the playoffs is the same. Play contain and go to the middle field, pass all deep, all that numbers. He is not accurate when it comes to that.
Oops. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Philadelphia Eagles in the NFC. They're undefeated for a reason, and I'm gonna go with the Buffalo Bills. But A close second in the AFC, I do like Baltimore.
I think the Chiefs have really. I think
The Chiefs are always going to be there.
So why not?
Especially Mahomes. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, Kansas City lost to Buffalo, so that's why I put them out.
Yeah, but they lost to Buffalo last year in the regular season, didn't they?
But right now, well, we're not.
And then they beat them in the playoffs.
Right
I mean,
now.
this is like, I
And it's
mean,
right now.
I get it, but that's like the New York Jets or the Pittsburgh Steelers beating the New England Patriots in the regular season, and the Patriots will just spank them in the playoffs.
To me, the best teams right now in each conference are Buffalo and Philadelphia. Right now.
My Super Bowl prediction. You don't worry.
No,
Fidel.
I would go
You got
Kansas
it
City.
right.
I think Kansas City better than Buffalo right now, man.
So y'all need to get drug tested about Baltimore. Come on, man. They knocked on my door this morning. I didn't answer.
I thought Baltimore was a decent team. I wasn't gonna go as far as the other couple guys went. You know,
I didn't. I did not call Baltimore. I said I wouldn't even want to go play for.
Remember, I said this, that Baltimore is going to be a problem. Remember, note this down. I said it now. Baltimore will be a problem.
I think if anybody had Lamar, there would be a problem, right? So as long as Lamar can stay healthy, yeah, they're going to be a problem.
But that defense is playing great.
That defense
just added,
that defense should be doing way better. They've invested so many high draft picks on that defense. Why aren't they playing better? That's what
we know about a team that's defense first. A good defense in the run game can go on the road anywhere and try. They don't have to. Baltimore don't need home field. They can go on the road and beat you.
Yeah, but still, you can't just be one sided. You need all phases. I mean, you need defense. You even need special teams. You need your offense. Your offense, you can rely on the run a lot, but when you need a pass, you're gonna need a pass. And the thing is that sometimes Lamar is kind of limited on what he could choose. Well, or not limited. He is favoriting his favorite target, and it's easy to tee off on who he's going to throw the ball to. So
if I'm a top team in the AFC, I don't want no parts of Baltimore.
Well, Kendall, so Miami real quick. So we've seen glaring evidence of Tua not being able to really get the ball downfield in 78 to 90 degree weather. So what happens, as you mentioned, what happens when he has to put gloves on and the wind is cutting? Can't really say Pittsburgh, but he has to go play at Cincinnati.
Well, that's why I said
at Baltimore, at Buffalo. And then they don't run the ball either.
That's why I said I want to see how. I didn't say they're good. I said I want to see how they look at Cole. That's what I said.
Oh no, you whatever you can imagine, that's what's gonna happen. Whatever you can imagine, that's what's gonna happen, dude. This team can't run the football worth a damn, and their quarterback struggles getting the ball downfield in 90 degree weather. So what do you think is going to happen if they have to go play at Josh Allen?
Where they're undefeated. They're undefeated when Tua starts this year.
Oh, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, man.
And these things that we're saying obviously can change by next week.
Yeah,
so. For sure. I mean, look we started. Look at the Falcons. You know what I mean? Look at. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, and we got a score update from Germany. Bucks up 21-3.
Seahawks another poser.
Yeah,
see, look at that, man. Tampa had to leave soil to get a win.
But look, Tampa needed this game more than Seattle did, so that's for damn sure. And they're going on.
Yeah, but I don't know about you guys, and I'm pretty sure there's a safety for them. I'm tired of seeing Tom Brady and freaking Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs, man. Their time already passed. They should have retired a long time ago. I don't know why they're still playing.
I think we're going to see Tom in the playoffs this season. So
their teams gave him a lot of money. So
yeah. All right, and just kind of to wrap up the show, what's your guys' key matchup for Week 10?
Vikings and Bills, man. I mean, I think I want to see Josh Allen. I mean, we at first it looked like he wasn't going to play, and then we saw how Case Keenum looked in the Case Keenum looked like crap. I don't know if anybody else saw that, fumbling and tripping over himself. So for Josh Allen to, there's a little bit more to his injury than what we may know, but it's going to be a good test to see him go against the Vikings, who, you're talking about two high-powered offenses. I think the defenses, the Vikings defense has surprisingly stepped up a couple notches from a season ago. And then, of course, the Bills defense is still playing pretty good. So, yeah, that right there, some people might have said that was a Super Bowl prediction in itself. So I'm looking at that game, and of course the Cowboys and Packers today. I know Aaron Rodgers has been a complete nuisance to a lot of teams, but for the Cowboys, he has a 7-2 record. Man, I would love this defense just to punch him right in the face and just end the Packers season for good.
I'm gonna stay with that game, but I'm gonna go to an individual matchup. CD Lamb, you're supposed to be that guy. I want to see you going up against Jair Alexander today. I want to see what you can do. Let them know that y'all don't need OBJ there. That you are the guy that they drafted you to be. I'm going down to Lambeau Field. I want to see the CD Lamb versus Jair Alexander matchup. I think, but yeah, once again, I'm a big CD Lamb fan. Jared, take you that. I'm a big CD Lamb. I ain't mean to take no shot at him, but yeah, that's the matchup I want to see.
Yeah, you just gave him a left hook, man. I don't know if you like him too much.
That's all we're gonna be seeing is. That's all we're gonna be seeing. That's CD
Lamb. That's his first dance.
Yeah, it's a trademark. It's trademark.
All right, Seattle not out of it yet. They just scored a touchdown, so they shouldn't make the game 10-21.
That's garbage time, and they ain't coming back beating down.
Well, we'll see.
But you guys
we'll
did
see
just
stranger
take the same.
things.
You guys did just take the same exact game, and I figured everybody was going to take that game. So I'm gonna piggyback off of that game. I'm gonna play off the Jags and the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs can't afford to have a downfall today, one of those pitfalls. They have a chance to win today and potentially take over number one in the AFC.
Is that game in Jacksonville, or is it in KC?
I think it's in Kansas City. Okay. Yeah, so you look at the fact that the Buffalo Bills they've got going on what we already discussed as far as the Josh Allen situation. They got a game 7-1 hot Minnesota team coming in to play them. Buffalo could lose that game. If the Bills lose that game, Chiefs handle business against the Jacksonville Jaguars. You got Kansas City in first place going into next week.
I mean, if you want to get technical, the Browns and the Dolphins, that's also an interesting game too. So
yeah.
Yep, and Deshaun Watson coming back in a couple weeks. People forget about Deshaun Watson's on the Browns.
Oh boy. OBJ there.
Yeah, Vikings and the Bills for me is a key matchup for week 10.
I mean, a lot of people. I mean, there's some people saying, "Hey, watch out! These guys are going to be Super Bowl contenders, both Bills and Vikings." You know what I mean? Not me, but whatever.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah, a lot of people did pick the Vikings. I didn't, but
yeah,
I'm surprised the Vikings are 7-1 now.
Well, what a job Kevin O'Connell's done there too.
I mean, he's done a good job. He schemes up Justin Jefferson, which is what every offensive coordinator should be doing, scheming up their players to get the ball. So it's gonna be a good game. Well, I'm surprised that you're still, flying high with the Eagles there. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
They're undefeated.
We're gonna have to talk, man.
And they beat you.
We're gonna have to with Cooper.
And they
Rush.
beat us.
With Cooper Rush,
Oh yeah. Go ahead for that.
And they barely beat us too. So just let's get that right with Cooper Rush.
All right, just wrap things up today. Any final thoughts on this very entertaining Sunday kickoff show?
Just want to appreciate everybody joining us this morning or whatnot. For more Cowboys talk, y'all can catch me and Jerry later on the Cowboys talk. I think we're doing Jerry and Harvey, they're doing a good job over there in the Cowboys cast. I'm gonna be at their pregame show getting ready for that game and whatnot. I'm gonna chop it up with them for a little bit, but appreciate it.
Bye week, right? You guys are on a bye week.
Yeah, my page is on the bye week, so I ain't got nothing else to do. So I'm gonna hop on up there with y'all and talk a little bit Cowboys, talk a little more about CD Lamb, my guy CD. But yeah, appreciate everybody joining us.
Hey, I just want to say thank you all. Sorry for me. It's all love with me and Walt, me and Fidel, and me and Cadell. We get to talk to each other like that. We've always talked with each other like that. Actually, on and off the camera. So we're all brothers here. But I want to say thank you all. Of course, if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe. Turn on the notifications and share it. And also tune into our Instagram. We chop this up. We give you some good reels. Some good TikToks. We're on TikTok too, guys. So get on there. Just look East West Football. We're there, and you'll get some good chop ups, some good little sneak peeks if you were not able to catch the entirety of these live podcasts. And stay tuned Tuesday. Marcellus Wiley.
Walt, any final thoughts?
Well, yeah, weather's starting to change. Scores are going to be lower. Start taking the under. A lot more. Start taking
Hammer the
under a lot more.
under.
Yeah, over/under on the Vikings Bills is 46.5 points. So
I
I
don't
guess
know. Buffalo doesn't really have a running back. Running back's Josh Allen. I mean, I don't know. Things might get weird in Buffalo today.
Real quick before we get off, this is it's not off topic, but I want to talk about this. How long can the Bills go without having a running game? Like, how long can you keep going with just using your quarterback as your main runner? But we've seen in the past Cam Newton, RG3, some of these guys they're running first. Like he just got banged up last week at a UCL sprain. How far can they go like that?
I've been saying the downfall of the Buffalo Bills the last couple of seasons has been that they have no running game, no running back.
I will say this: I recently did a poll. Well, more importantly, me and Harvey we're talking about this, right? We're saying, who would you rather have, Josh Allen, or let's just say someone like my guy, right, Joe Burrow, as your quarterback? And we both said Joe Burrow because we said Josh Allen's not going to allow a running back to run. He's gonna be your liability because he wants to rush the ball, and when you rush the ball, what comes with rushing? Injuries, especially at the quarterback position. So, I'll tell you this: that's a good topic and a good debate that we should have soon, right? Who would you rather have, Josh Allen, or you pick the other quarterback? You know what I'm saying? I use Joe Burrow just because I like him. I like his moxie. He gets punched in the face, but he gets right back up. So look forward to that conversation coming soon.
What you think, Walt? You're on mute.
Sorry, I'm trying to give everybody their just due. I mean, as far as Josh and Joe, I think the playbook is a lot more wide open with Josh Allen, especially vertically. But yeah, Joe's got the toughness too. It all depends on what your preference is.
All right. Well, with that being said, thank you everyone out there for watching and listening. Take care. Enjoy the games. We'll talk to you guys soon.